Every person who has ever risen from obscurity to greatness began with one thing, an unwavering commitment to grow. Growth is not accidental, it is not gifted, it is claimed, boldly, intentionally, and relentlessly. The person who commits to growth plants the seed of greatness in their own soul, and like any seed, it must be nourished with work, persistence, and belief. When you decide that you will no longer remain where you are, that mediocrity will no longer satisfy your spirit, you ignite a fire that cannot be extinguished, but that fire must be fed by labor, fed by sacrifice, fed by your willingness to do the work when no one is watching, when no applause is heard, and when results seem distant. Because you understand, the prize does not go to the person who merely wishes, it goes to the one who works while others sleep. Hard work is not the enemy, it is the ally of destiny. Every drop of sweat you pour today becomes the harvest of success tomorrow. Each obstacle is not a wall but a test, placed there not to stop you, but to prove how badly you want it. And when you commit, truly commit, you become unstoppable. You will bend circumstances to your will. You will see doors where others see brick walls, because the mind that is made up, absolutely made up, cannot be denied. Success is not about talent, it is not about luck, it is about decision. You must decide this moment that you will not wait for the perfect time, you will create it, that you will not beg for opportunity, you will become it, that you will not hope for growth, you will demand it through effort, through discipline, through sheer force of will. Work hard, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Work hard because greatness does not come to the passive. It comes to the prepared, it comes to the persistent, it comes to the person who rises each day with a purpose and rests each night with progress, the one who understands that growth is not an event, but a lifestyle. Make the decision now, make the commitment now, and then act like it, think like it, work like it. Commitment to growth is the foundation of greatness. Hard work transforms desire into destiny. Commitment to growth is the foundation of greatness. It is the invisible line that separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. Without commitment, growth is temporary, sporadic, or non-existent. With it, a person can rise from the most modest beginnings to the highest levels of success. It is not talent alone, nor education, nor opportunity that determines who climbs and who remains stagnant. It is the deep, unwavering, unshakable commitment to grow, evolve, and become more than one was yesterday. When a person makes a true commitment to growth, they no longer look at life as something happening to them. They begin to see life as something they are actively shaping. They shift from being passive to intentional. Their thoughts become tools, not just passing clouds. Their time becomes an investment, not something to kill. Their words, actions, and habits begin to align with a purpose greater than comfort. A committed individual is not ruled by moods or temporary motivation. They are driven by a decision that is made once and reaffirmed daily. Growth does not come easily, it demands discomfort. It requires discipline, and it often demands solitude, sacrifice, and long stretches of work that go unrecognized. But those who are truly committed are not in it for applause or quick validation. They are in it for transformation. They understand that growth is not a single achievement, it is a process, a way of being, a journey that never ends. They see setbacks as part of that journey, failures become teachers, challenges become stepping stones, and excuses become enemies. The mind of a committed person is different. It is fortified against doubt, against distractions, against the comfort of mediocrity. They do not ask, "Will this be easy?" They ask, "Will this make me better?" And if the answer is yes, they proceed without hesitation. They wake up each day not hoping to feel like growing, but deciding to grow. Their commitment is not emotional, it is principle-based. They move forward whether inspired or uninspired, whether cheered on or ignored, because the promise they made to themselves is stronger than the circumstances around them. It is easy to commit when things are going well. When the path is clear, the winds favorable, and the rewards immediate, anyone can say they are committed, but true commitment is measured in the moments when growth hurts, when the process demands more than you thought you could give. When progress is invisible and the temptation to quit whispers loud in your ear, that is when commitment becomes real. That is when your foundation is tested, and those who have truly built it strong keep going. Not because it's easy, not because they always know the outcome, but because they refuse to betray the vision of who they are becoming. There is a difference between being interested in growth and being committed to it. Interest is casual, it flickers, it fades, it's there when it's convenient, when the sun is shining and the road is smooth. But commitment burns, it stays lit in storms, it endures dark nights and long winters. It refuses to die out, no matter how cold the world becomes. Commitment means you don't only seek growth when you feel inspired, you pursue it when you are tired, frustrated, or uncertain, because you know that greatness is not built on fleeting feelings. It is built on faithful actions. The committed person doesn't wait for permission. They don't wait for ideal conditions. They act, they move, they learn, they fail forward. They understand that growth is not a perfect upward climb. It is often messy, chaotic, and nonlinear. But they persist because they have declared deep within themselves that standing still is no longer acceptable. They are willing to risk, to fall, to be misunderstood, to be judged, because what they are building within themselves is worth more than the opinions of those who do not understand the mission. When you commit to growth, you change your relationship with fear. Fear no longer becomes a stop sign. It becomes a signal, a sign that you're stepping outside the old version of yourself and stepping into a new one. A committed mind does not eliminate fear, but it does override it. It acknowledges the fear, learns from it, and then acts anyway. Courage becomes a habit, resilience becomes a mindset, and the process of becoming better becomes more exciting than the fear of failure. Growth requires change, and change is uncomfortable. It disrupts routines, confronts beliefs, and shakes up the identity we've built. But commitment to growth means choosing change over comfort. It means letting go of what is good in pursuit of what is great. It means trusting that every challenge you face is shaping you, stretching you, and preparing you for the next level of life. It means understanding that you cannot grow and remain the same. Something must be left behind. Old habits, old excuses, old limitations. Growth demands a trade, and the committed are always willing to pay the price. No one is born committed. It is a decision you make, and that decision is not made once. It is made every single day. In the quiet moments, in the small choices, in the way you speak to yourself when you fall short, in how you respond to adversity, in how you use your time when no one is watching. It is built in the invisible, internal choices that compound over time and shape the visible, external results that others will one day admire. The world celebrates outcomes, but the committed know that outcomes are simply the byproduct of what they've been building all along. They don't chase titles, they chase growth. They don't wait for opportunities, they create them through persistence and preparation. They don't compare themselves to others, they compare themselves to who they were yesterday. That is the essence of real progress. That is how greatness is built, not by sprinting toward a destination, but by walking consistently in the direction of your vision. Every person has the potential to commit. But not every person will, because commitment requires ownership. It demands that you stop blaming circumstances, people, or luck, and start taking responsibility for where you are and where you're going. It requires honesty, humility, and hunger, the honesty to see where you truly are, the humility to admit you have more to learn, and the hunger to do something about it. That combination is rare, but it is available to anyone who chooses it. A committed person surrounds themselves with others who are also growing. They understand the power of environment, that the people you spend time with shape your standards. They choose to be around those who challenge them, not those who coddle them. They seek out mentors, ideas, and conversations that stretch their thinking, because they know that to grow alone is hard, but to grow with others who are also climbing is powerful. The commitment to growth is not flashy. It doesn't always come with loud announcements or dramatic transformations. Sometimes it looks like choosing to get up and try again, choosing to read one more page, to make one more call, to reflect instead of react, to forgive yourself instead of shaming yourself. It's a quiet, steady drumbeat, a rhythm of consistency that builds momentum until one day you look back and realize you are no longer who you were, and the distance you've traveled is the evidence of your commitment. That commitment becomes your identity. You begin to see yourself not just as someone who wants to grow, but someone who does. You build trust with yourself. You believe in your ability to figure things out, to get back up, to overcome, and that belief becomes fuel. It gives you strength on the hard days. It gives you patience on the slow days. It gives you fire on the days when everything inside you wants to quit. Because once you have committed to becoming better, there is no going back to the way things used to be. Everything changes when you commit. You stop negotiating with your future. You stop questioning your worth. You stop waiting for signs and start becoming one. You stop hoping that something will change and start realizing that you are the change. The growth you seek is already within your reach, but only if you are willing to rise each day and take hold of it with both hands and an unbreakable will. Hard work transforms desire into destiny. Desire on its own is a spark, a flicker of what could be. It is the first step, but without the grind that follows, desire dies out. Many people want to succeed. Many dream of better lives, more freedom, more wealth, deeper purpose. But only a few are willing to translate those desires into disciplined, focused, and tireless effort. Hard work is the bridge between imagination and reality, and only those who are willing to walk that bridge, step by step, through fatigue and fail, you ever see the other side. Hard work doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait until conditions are perfect or until motivation strikes. It demands action even on the days when your energy is low, when the doubts are loud, and when progress feels invisible. This is what separates those who get results from those who simply hope for them. The ones who win are the ones who show up every single day, committed not just to working, but to working with intention and excellence. They understand that desire means nothing without discipline. And discipline is forged in the fire of repetition, doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Every great achievement you admire was born of hard work. Every empire, every innovation, every extraordinary life was built brick by brick, moment by moment, hour after hour of unseen labor. There is no magic shortcut, no easy way to greatness. The people who seem to have it all often have one thing in common: they worked for it. When others were comfortable, they were sacrificing. When others quit, they doubled down. When others made excuses, they found a way. Their desire may have started the journey, but their work ethic wrote every chapter that followed. You cannot think your way into a new life. You must work your way into it. You can study, plan, visualize, and dream, but if you do not take bold, consistent action, nothing changes. Hard work is not the enemy, it is the process. And the process always demands payment. You must pay in effort, in time, in persistence. You must invest your energy even when there is no guarantee of reward. You must become the kind of person who values growth over comfort, who sees obstacles as opportunities, and who does not flinch when things get hard, because they will. Desire gives you a vision, but hard work gives you muscle. It strengthens your mindset, it hardens your resolve, it toughens your character. Every time you push through a challenge instead of avoiding it, you become stronger. Every time you keep going when quitting is easier, you add weight to your will. These daily victories over comfort compound over time, and one day, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. You wake up and realize you are living the life you once only dreamed about. But it didn't come to you by chance. It came because you earned it. Hard work is the ultimate truth teller. It reveals who is serious and who is just talking. It exposes the difference between commitment and convenience. Those who truly want something will work for it. They will find time, create space, and make the necessary sacrifices. Those who only kind of want it will find excuses. They'll wait for motivation, for the perfect time, for someone to come save them. But no one is coming, and the time will never be perfect. You must begin now with what you have and work with everything in you until what you want becomes real. The power of hard work lies not just in the results it brings, but in the person it shapes you into. When you consistently push yourself beyond what's easy or comfortable, you change. You become more focused, more determined, more capable. You build habits that serve you. You develop mental toughness that no one can take away. You become the kind of person who does not wait for inspiration. You become your own source of it. That transformation is more valuable than any trophy, title, or paycheck, because it stays with you no matter what the world throws your way. The road is long, and there will be times when the results are slow to show, but hard work always pays off, not always in the way you expect, not always on your timeline, but in some form, in some way it returns. Sometimes it comes in lessons, sometimes in breakthroughs, sometimes in the quiet confidence of knowing you gave it everything you had. And that sense of inner pride is something no one can give you. It's something only effort can earn. Many people chase outcomes, but the ones who rise are those who fall in love with the process. They understand that greatness is not a one-time act, but a daily grind. It's early mornings, late nights, showing up when you're tired, staying focused when distractions are everywhere, doing the small things with excellence when no one is watching. This is the real work. This is where success is created, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows where discipline is tested and built. Hard work is also an equalizer. You may not have the best start, the most resources, or the loudest support, but you can outwork anyone. You can decide that no one will be more consistent than you, no one will push harder, no one will stay longer in the fight, and when you operate from that place not of arrogance, but of relentless commitment, you become dangerous. You become a force because talent may give someone a head start, but work ethic decides who finishes the race. There's something powerful about knowing you've earned everything you've got, that it wasn't given, it wasn't luck, it was you. You showed up, you struggled, you didn't quit, and now when the rewards come, you can receive them with full confidence, because hard work doesn't just build results. It builds self-respect. It builds belief. It builds that quiet inner fire that says, I don't need guarantees, I'll create the outcome myself. That mindset is unshakable. Many people fear hard work because they associate it with struggle, but struggle is not the enemy. Struggle is where the growth happens. It's where you find out what you're really made of. It's where the excuses get stripped away and the real you is revealed. In struggle, you become resourceful, you become creative, you become powerful, and through that process, your desire stops being a distant wish and becomes a living force, driving you, shaping you, pushing you forward. Hard work is a language the universe understands. When you work with all your heart, all your focus, all your passion, you begin to attract things that align with that energy. Opportunities appear, people take notice, doors open that once seemed locked. But it all starts with you, with your choice to show up and put in the work, not once, not occasionally, but relentlessly, day after day, brick by brick, until the dream becomes the destination. There is no such thing as overnight success. Behind every sudden breakthrough is 1,000 silent battles, 1,000 lonely nights, 1,000 moments where the person could have quit, but didn't. That's what builds success. That's what creates greatness. It's not flashy, and it's rarely comfortable, but it is always worth it, because the destiny you are chasing is already possible. It's waiting on the other side of the work you haven't yet done. You don't have to be the best today. You just have to outwork yesterday's version of you. That is the real game. Compete with your past, surpass your limits, be the kind of person who refuses to stay the same, who refuses to settle, who refuses to let desire die in the realm of wishes. Instead, you act, you move, you execute, and in doing so, you begin to separate yourself from the masses who merely talk about what they want. Hard work has no substitute, no shortcut, no cheat code. It is the cost of entry to a life of meaning, impact, and fulfillment. It's what allows you to lay your head down at night, knowing you gave your best. It's what gives your dreams weight and substance. And the best part is, it's completely in your control. You decide how hard you'll work. You decide how far you'll go. You decide whether you'll be the person who just talks about destiny, or the one who builds it, one effort at a time. The destiny you dream of is not waiting on chance, talent, or timing. It is waiting on your relentless commitment and your willingness to work for it. When desire is backed by unshakable effort, there are no limits to what you can create, who you can become, or how far you can go. Let your actions speak louder than your wishes. Let your work reflect your vision, and let every day be a step closer to the life you were born to build.